Hey guys, so welcome to the first episode of my new show that I'm starting called Parkour Upstart. Now, when I started doing parkour, I didn't have a gym, I didn't have a teacher, I had no one in my life that actually did it. So I had to teach myself off of videos that I saw on the internet. I want to start this series to provide you guys an opportunity to learn parkour even if you don't have a gym or a teacher or a community that can help you and push you and teach you. First off, what is parkour? Now, there's a lot of misconception around parkour. A lot of people think it's some breakneck daredevil sport where you're gonna die. It's not, if you do it right. So there are two sports called parkour, and there's a very similar but still different sport called freerunning. Parkour is all about efficiency. It's getting from over here, point A, to point B as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So that involves jumping over obstacles, sliding underneath, climbing, all sorts of different things. And it involves a lot of techniques, including cat leaps, various vaults like the Kong vault and the dash vault, safety roll, all sorts of different things. Now, free running is about style. Free running is often described as taking parkour and incorporating things like originally like capyra and breakdancing and stuff like that to make it look cooler and be more expressive. So parkour is efficiency, freerunning is style. Now, how did I get into parkour? Well, at the very beginning, about 2 years ago, I was watching YouTube and I found some really cool looking parkour videos from this guy named Ronnie Chavez. And when I saw what he was doing, I just thought it was really cool. Now, up until this point, I wasn't really athletic. I never played in sports except for like second grade basketball and fifth grade soccer. But when I saw this guy's videos, I thought, that looks cool. That looks awesome, and I'd like to be able to do that. So what I did was I surfed on his channel and I found some tutorials. I picked the easiest, safest sounding trick that I could find, and I learned that first. And that was the safety roll. Once I had learned the safety roll, I took it very slowly and I practiced it until I got it perfect. Then I found the next safe thing on his channel, the safety vault. I learned each individual trick that he taught in his tutorial series up to a certain point, and then incorporated it into my own training session until I reached the point where I could actually create lines. Now, lines are kind of a combination, one full run, where you do a bunch of tricks in a row, and is very useful for training parkour and learning about momentum and speed transfer. It's also very helpful in learning about flow and style for free running. So lines are super important and are almost always what you will be doing in competitions, in training, in all sorts of things. So that's how I started parkour, and ever since I've been learning from Ronnie Chavez, from various other YouTube channels, and I've been learning just from tricks that I came up with myself. Through training and practice and making mistakes, I actually invented some of my own tricks and some of my own ways of doing things to the point where I kind of have my own style now. I have my own way of doing things. Now, why even do parkour? Like, why is it beneficial? Well, for one, it's a lot of fun. It's so exciting to be able to learn what your body can do, to understand your limits and how far you can go, and then to push that just a little bit farther and a little bit farther every single day, to the point where now I'm 2 years into it and I consider myself an athlete. Whereas 2 years ago, I sat on my butt and I messed around on my computer and played video games, and yeah, I still do some of that, but now I'm being active several times a week. I try to train as many days as I can. So one, it's just a lot of fun. And two, it's physical activity. It's a workout. Number three, this is one of the most fascinating benefits to parkour, in my opinion, instincts. Parkour taught me how to fall well. How to be able to notice I'm falling, look where I'm falling, try to find a spot where I'm not going to get hurt if I fall there, and then determine, do I need to roll or do I just need to bend my knees? How do I need to land? If I'm going to roll, is there something in the way? I can make all of those calculations, do all those things, in an instant, and I've done it multiple times. It saved me from face planting into the corner of a stair on a staircase. Because of these instincts I've built up doing parkour and practicing safety rolls and falling correctly, even practicing failing. Even practicing that has prepared me for actual situations in which I'm actually falling in real life, and I'm able to get out of it without being injured or with a minor bruise or something like that, rather than a gash across my face like I almost did that one time. So those instincts can really just make all of life, not just parkour, but all of life safer. And in my opinion, even if you're not going to practice parkour and train every day, even if that's not your main sport, if you're involved in other sports like soccer or football, I think that some aspects of parkour can greatly improve your performance in those sports as well, because of the ability that tracers have to fall and get right back up, or to minimize the impact to their legs or to their back when they fall. So it really just helps with just about any sport. Now you may be wondering, how do I start? Well, there are different ways to do it. My biggest recommendation, do this. Please do this if you can. Find a gym. If there's a gym nearby, find it, go to it, make friends there, take lessons. Gyms just, it provides the community that you need to push you further. And it provides a safe environment to train and to learn and to push yourself. And once you've found a gym, take classes. Find someone to teach you. Find a parkour mentor and go to him or her with your questions. Have them help you. You want the community. That's what's gonna win it for you. Because when you feel like you want to quit, when you're super frustrated because you can't learn this new trick, or you learn this new trick, but then a week later you lost it and you can't do it again, and you're training and you're just struggling, that community, those friends, that mentor, they are going to help you. They're going to be the ones that get you through that. And if you don't have a gym, still search. Try to find a community within your area. If you can walk out and you're like, oh look, those people are training, even if you don't have time to go train with them at that moment, walk over there, say hi, connect with them, express your interest in parkour, get a phone number or something. You want to plug yourself into a community if you can. And you may be wondering, there's no gym in my area. There's no community in my area. There's no one that I know of that does parkour in my area. And I've searched. Well, then you're like me. I don't know of anyone that does parkour in my area. I don't know of any gyms in the area that I live in. So if that's the case, you can still learn, and you can still get motivated, and you can still push yourself. What I recommend, and this is what I've been doing for 2 years now, tutorial videos. Those will help you out a ton at the very beginning. Those will teach you all your basic tricks, all you need to know at the beginning, and they will just be very motivational, being able to hear someone else telling you, teaching you how to do these tricks. But you also want to be consistently teaching yourself the new stuff, because if you ever do get plugged into a new community, if you are coming up with your own stuff, then you have stuff to teach them, as well as them teaching you stuff. If you make up your own tricks, if you take a mistake or a failure, or you mess up trying to do this one trick, make a new trick out of it. I've done that before. I was trying to learn an Italian job a while ago, and I messed it up, and then I thought, well, what if I did this? And so I made a trick where you had to intentionally mess up the Italian job in order to perform that new trick. And I created my own trick. And that, when you create that new trick, that's going to generate excitement. Because even if it's nothing professional, it's still going to be super new. And you're going to have that satisfaction of you did something no one else has done before. So create your own tricks. And here's another thing. I do this all the time. Most of my YouTube history is parkour videos, parkour and freerunning videos. Find parkour channels. I'm subscribed to a whole list of Tempest freerunners. I'm subscribed to Kaylin Chan and Ronnie Chavez. Find parkour YouTube channels, and I'll put some links in the description below for you to start. And watch their videos. Watch other people get excited about freerunning. Watch other people have fun and compete and play games together using parkour. And when you watch those videos, that'll get you excited. You'll be like, hey, whoa, that's cool. I want to be able to be like that one day. And then that will motivate you to push yourself. And another thing, again, I don't recommend doing tricks that you're not ready for. But if you see some big free runner on YouTube do some cool trick that you want to do, look up tutorials. Try to find a way to learn what they're doing. Because if you can learn tricks that they're doing, if you can see something cool that tailors specifically to your interests and you can learn it, that's going to be so exciting to be able to learn. Because then you'll get to use that in all your lines that you're doing with all these other tricks you're learning. Finally, 3 quick things. 1, find parkour communities online and interact with them. That will help you realize that there are other people out there that are interested in freerunning, that love and are passionate about freerunning. Watch competitions. It's just so fun to watch competitions and to look at something. Like, I've looked at lines in competitions and been like, whoa, that's insane, that's going to be first place. And then that person gets 4th. And I'm like, wait, what? So then I go back and I watch the 3rd and 2nd and 1st place lines, and it just keeps getting better and more exciting. And I can pick apart all the different lines and be like, oh, I can do this and this and this. Oh, I need to work on that. And watching competitions just allows you to get psyched and to watch all these people getting excited and doing amazing jobs in parkour. Competitions are just so inspiring. And finally, this one's not necessary, but I find it really fun, is when you have the opportunity, buy like merch. I know Team Farang has some shirts, Storm Freerunning has clothes for sale, Tempest Freerunning has fantastic shoes, some really cool shirts and hats. If you can buy merch like that, it'll be more exciting. About a month or 2 ago, I bought a shirt from Tempest, and I went to go train in it, and while I was training, I realized, oh, Tempest is in Italy right now, competing at Red Bull Art of Motion. So then, for the rest of that training session, I was wearing that shirt, and I was knowing that Tempest athletes were out there competing. And just knowing that and having that connection, that made me push myself even more, because then I got excited. That made me push myself and try tricks that I haven't really done before, that I've usually been really scared to do. I was doing precisions on bars, which I'm terrified of. So buying merch, it's not necessary, but sometimes it can just be a lot of fun. And to be able to train in free running attire is just exciting. So yeah, those are my recommendations for starting. That's why parkour is just an amazing sport. I hope you guys really enjoyed the first episode of Parkour Upstart. Comment below your interests in parkour, how long you've been training, if you want to see more stuff like this, because I plan on uploading more tutorials for you guys to start learning. But I recommend not just watching my tutorials, I recommend checking out other channels, including the channels below, for tutorials, for motivational videos, for competition videos, all sorts of stuff, just to push you further. I also recommend listening to multiple tutorials when you're learning a new trick, because different people have different methods of learning tricks. So even if my videos don't explain tricks in a way that you can understand, I totally recommend checking out other videos from the channels in the link below and various other channels. There are lots of great channels out there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Parkour Upstart, and I will see you next week.